I feel like being with your mom is better than being with any chick my age.
Corey Gamble became one of the most famous men in America when he started dating Kris Jenner. Before this, no one had really heard about him, and you'll never believe what his life looked like before he and Kris got together. Corey rose to fame when he and Kris struck up a relationship way back in August 2014. They met at Ricardo Tisi's 40th birthday party in Ibiza, and although they have a 25-year-old age gap between them, that didn't stop Corey and Kris from falling in love with each other. And it was pretty obvious seeing as it didn't take much time after they first met for Corey to start popping up in Kris's snap. Then 1 year after they met for the first time, Corey and Kris went Instagram official and confirmed their relationship while on a double date with Billy Ray Cyrus and Tish. Since then, Corey and Kris have been more or less inseparable. In 2017, it was rumored that they'd briefly split up, apparently because Kris was getting sidetracked by the relationship and needed to put her family first. Either way, this split wasn't permanent in any way, and Corey and Kris found their way back to each other. They've been seen on multiple red carpets together, and they've let the whole world know that their relationship was the real deal. But this hasn't really stopped people from wondering who exactly Corey really is, because it almost seemed like he came out of nowhere, since before he started dating Kris, no one had ever known him. So what exactly did he do pre-Kris Jenner? Well, for starters, contrary to what many people believe, Corey actually works for a living. So he's not just using Kris for money and status. Corey is a business executive and a talent manager. Apparently, he works as a talent manager for SB Projects, which is Scooter Braun's entertainment company, the same company that represents both Justin Bieber and Kanye West. Rumor has it is that he was even working as Justin Bieber's tour manager when he first met Kris. And from all the pictures of the two of them together, it seems very likely that this was actually the case. At one point, Corey even referred to Justin as his nephew, so it seems like they might be pretty close. Corey's originally from Atlanta, Georgia. He studied business marketing at Morehouse College in Atlanta, but as we all know right now, he lives in LA with Kris and has been living there for the past couple of years. Although many people thought that Corey had a pretty normal life before meeting Kris, that really isn't the case. It turns out that there's a lot more to who Corey really is than what he lets people see. If anything, it seems like he's worked pretty hard to keep this part of his past a huge secret. But his ex-girlfriend, Cherie Bunchen, exposed it, and you guys are in for a shock when you hear everything that he had to say about Corey. Cherie and Corey dated from 2007 to 2010, and it's not clear why exactly they broke up. But here's the interesting part. Shortly after they broke up, Cherie was granted a temporary restraining order against Corey, and she had a lot to say about her relationship with him. According to her, Corey wasn't really the best of partners. Apparently, he used to follow her around town and do a whole bunch of weird stuff. And even when they broke up and she changed her locks, somehow he allegedly still managed to get a key to her place, which sounds pretty creepy and weird. And according to Cherie, Corey and Kris's relationship isn't the coincidence we've all thought it was all these years. She says that if anything, it was a planned and deliberate move on Corey's part. According to Cherie, Corey is all about power and money, and he's the type of person to do whatever it takes to get this, even if it means getting together with someone that's 25 years older than him. Allegedly, the only reason he's with Kris is that he's just using her and her popularity, seeing as the Kardashians are practically the media's first family. Cherie even went as far as to warn Kris to always sleep with one eye open. Cherie said a lot of things about Corey and his motives. She even claimed that Kris wasn't actually Corey's type at all. According to her, the only reason Corey decided to stick with Kris is because of her power and money. In her words, Kris could have been Betty White and Corey still would have hit on her. Obviously, she had a lot to say, and I honestly don't know what to think. Is she right or is she wrong? Either way, there's no way to tell if any of this is actually true. I mean, Corey and Kris have been together for 8 years at this point, and that's a pretty long time to stay in a relationship that you don't want to be in. But then again, what if he's just being patient and waiting for him and Kris to actually get married before he shows his alleged true colors? We all know that Kris has already been married twice, and she isn't in much of a hurry to get married again. But maybe Corey is just really patient. I guess this could also explain why it took the Kardashians so long to actually accept him into the family. And even though they seem to be pretty comfortable with him right now, that doesn't mean that they've actually fully accepted him. I mean, Kim even went as far as to calling him a gold digger during her Saturday Night Live opening monologue in October 2021. Either way though, Kris doesn't seem to care about what anyone thinks about Corey and their relationship. They both seem to be going pretty strong, and who knows, they might actually end up getting married in the future. I mean, there have been rumors about this before. In August 2018, Kris hinted that she and Corey were engaged. She made an appearance on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and she chose to eat a cricket to avoid answering questions on whether she was engaged to Corey, and since then, there have been dozens of rumors about them being engaged. Kris was seen walking the Met Gala with a huge diamond ring on her finger, and OK Magazine even reported that she and Corey were in the process of getting married, although it's not clear if that was actually the truth or not, but the possibility of Kris and Corey having a secret wedding is really high, and so is the possibility of them being secretly married already. I mean, Kris has made it pretty clear that she's not really interested in having a big wedding because she's already had one before, so if she and Corey do get married at some point, they might go for a small intimate ceremony, which we might not hear about until much later. But what do you guys think? Do you like Corey, and what are your thoughts on his and Kris's relationship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.